Well, now we're going to find a difference quotient. For a given function, our f of x is 3x squared plus 2. So this is my f of x. And the difference quotient is f of x plus h, subtract the original function, and all of that divided by h. And of course we have to exclude from the domain that h cannot be equal to 0, and we know that's because it would make our denominator 0. So what we're going to do is we're going to find f of x plus h by substituting for x plus h. That's the first part. So f of x plus h will be 3 times x plus h squared because my x was squared plus 2. So I took my original function, I put x plus h in where I had an x. So this is my f of x plus h. Now I'm going to subtract. I'm going to put it in parentheses here. My original function, 3x squared plus 2. So that's subtracting f of x. So there's my numerator. Then I divide everything by h. Now we want to simplify what we have in our numerator. So the first thing we need to do, following our order of operations, is determine what is x plus h squared. Now think about what that means. That's x plus h times x plus h. I'm going to FOIL that, so I have x times x is x squared, x times h is plus xh, h times x is also plus xh, and h times h gives me h squared. So when I combine my middle terms, my like terms, I have x squared plus 2 of those xh's plus h squared. So now I can substitute that in. I'll have 3 times x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, and still plus 2. And that's all still inside big parentheses. And then I'm going to go ahead and distribute my subtraction sign. So now I'm subtracting 3x squared and subtract 2, and everything is over h. Now let's continue removing parentheses. We need to do distributive property because everything inside needs to be multiplied times the 3. So I have 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared, and tack on my 2. And then I have subtract 3x squared minus 2, all of that over h. So this can be a tedious process unless you're very careful. Write down every step as you're working through this. Now let's see where we have 0 pairs. I have 3x squared minus 3x squared, that's 0. I have a positive 2, subtract 2, that's also a 0. And that's all we can do right now. So let's rewrite what we have here. Some equal signs in here for you. So now what's left is 6xh plus 3h squared all over h. And remember that h is a denominator for both of the terms in the numerator. So that means I have 6xh over h plus 3h squared over h. Or you can just divide both terms by that denominator, whichever works best for you. So my final answer will be, since my h's cancel here and one of my h's cancels there, simplified answer is 6x plus 3h. And that is the difference quotient for the original function f of x equals 3x squared plus 2.